happened in the last video? Well, you saw that we had a bit of a storm roll through unexpectedly, wet the swaths over there, picked up a rake, started raking. Wasn't going quite according to plan because it's so heavy and it's so jammed into the ground. The rake couldn't quite get it all up. Well, unbeknown to us, the green tractor sprung a leak underneath. It looks like when it was getting serviced, the O-ring on the hydraulic filter got pinched or something, so it's leaking. So it's currently sitting dead in the water. This, at just over 8 miles an hour, we're driving over to Jody's to have those guys install that charge pump down there to hopefully get this thing hydraulically working better, and then also to check on the electric switch, which when you grab this lever and move it this way, it moves it into the actual bunny range and not just on the dashboard. So we've got a long slow drive, the 6 miles over to Jody's, so be a while. Well, hello, and we're back. So, as you can see right there, a little black shape, another baby, big, beautiful heifer calf, and as I will show you, it is royalty, because that's Queenie's baby. So yeah, now there's only 2 left to calve. This is Queenie, and this is Squeak's other royalty, and then this is Eddie. So these 2 are still to calve. Look at the camera here. These 2 are still to calve, and she goes to freezer camp on Sunday night, I think is when the Quick Freeze at Oak River wants her. So yeah, hopefully tonight or tomorrow, Queenie and baby will head out to the Gen Pop. Because at this point they'll have the bull for 1 more month, so if they cycle in, that's great. If they don't, then that's fine too, because we'll just run them through an open season and put them back into normally scheduled programming. So I'm going to do a check and give grain to the old girls and their babies. We got another baby with a limp. Don't know what's going on with that, but it sucks. I'm going to go back baling. So we got 350 bales made so far this year. So yeah, we've got the new parts for this baler, but right now just want to get caught up in baling, so we'll just keep business as usual. Funny thing, you'll look here and see, well, why do you have circulating pipes on your tractor in the middle of summer? Well, actually they're not circulating pipes right now. They're sealing pipes. So the issue we have is all these spools need rebuilt. So for the most part, the outer seals are fairly good. These ones are a little slabbery, but they're okay for now, but they will get rebuilt. The problem we're having is the inner seal. So when you don't have anything on the tractor, it does salivate out of all of them. So I found this is the best way to deal with that, is just have them sealed up. So this way, this literally eliminates most of the oil leaks that are happening at the back end of this tractor right now, outside of what I need to keep using. So we're going to do a quick service up, check the fluids. Yes, these have automatic chain oilers. I don't rely on the automatic chain oilers on either of these balers. I oil the chains myself. Jug. And I know a lot of people do that. So, as you can see, they're greasy. So, usually what I'll do is I'll park it somewhere, a dusty bit of road, and then I'll use that just to blow the oil everywhere. And then I do like to clean the chaff out. But, and this is where, yeah, I'm just gonna say I do it. I get a mineral tub. There's the one I was using last night, right there, that yellow one. And I bring it over here and I clean the chaff out into the mineral tub, and then I give it to the girls, because that is literally like the icing on the cake. So might as well give it to the cows. So I got to put a quart of hydraulic oil in this. Just check the coolant. This thing usually never misses a beat when it comes to engine oil. Yep, still full. And then fire it up and let it percolate. We all know it's not going to cool down in the cab anytime soon. So anyway, so back in the AC. So yeah, I usually take a couple hours away from the baler, go and cut for a while, and that way I'm always getting stuff put down ahead of the baler. But what I'm showing you here is, now if you look down there, you see the alfalfa isn't even touching the apron of the disc bind. Don't let that fool you. If you look at that, see the stems are all completely laid over. So yeah, this got hailed on it, but from what I can tell, this would normally be about 2.5 feet tall. So it would be above your knees if it was standing up. So like where you see the mustard, the alfalfa would be as tall as that. But it's completely cocked over. So I'm actually not putting the head really down hard. I've got the head rolled back quite hard on the casters. That's why I rebuilt the bearings. I use the casters more than I use the skids. That's why I haven't replaced the skids, because I barely ever use them. They're just there to stop me hitting rocks. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to leave as much stem behind, and I'm trying to take the plant off the top, and then the stems will hold the swath up off the ground, and that should help speed up the process. And anyway, stems don't have as much food value. So anyway, I'm going to keep going because I'd like to try and get this field at least half down tonight. So keep going. That's one of my boys. You stick with me there, dragonfly. You are the only reason, you and the bees are the only reason that I don't have that yard insecticide bombed by an airplane to get rid of those flies. Because of you guys. Back to the regularly scheduled programming. Whew. Another day, another dollar. So we're just into the third paddock. So the headlands, 2 paddocks are completely done, and we're a quarter of the way into the third paddock. So we should hit 500 bales on this quarter. So yeah, so that should be north of 3 bales to the acre, which is slightly above average for the first cut. Like I said, last year 420 on this field, but it was a crazy good first cut. So as the sun, that's weird that you can't make that out on the screen. I can see it really easily. See that? Disappears. Anyway, so letting the tractor cool down. You always do that with a turbo, especially when this tractor is hot. So, a little bit of a real moment with Piper Doug. So, you all know I'm pretty open about the way that we farm and what all that we do, and a lot of the things going on with me, because as some people don't know, I have a physical disability. I have a complete disc replacement in my back, and I have 3 other vertebrae completely fused with metal rods in my back. So my lower back is a hot mess. So due to that and medications that I take, and for my whole life I have dealt with depression. Kind of goes with the territory. Farming is a tough job. So at the end of last year, I noticed starting to have some sort of like panic attacks. Things were kind of starting to happen weird, like weirdest things would set them off. So I never really thought much of it. I quit drinking coffee, kind of helped, but it didn't stop them. And as you all know, lost my mom in February, but this was happening before that. You get into calving season, and it's been a tough spring. And these sort of panic attacks, anxiety attacks, I've been getting a little bit more often. And there's a lot of things going on between trying to get haying done and looking after the cows, and there's been a lot of issues, late calvers, and I've got a lot of fences that need up done. So I was recommended this by my good wife. It's a supplement, so it's not a medication, it's a supplement. You can get it at the pharmacy, the drugstore, you can get it at most places where you get supplements. It's called Ashwagandha, and no, it's not ganja. It's just a little pill, you take it once, 3 times a day, and it has literally stopped my anxiety attacks in their tracks. I'm not kidding, no word of a lie. So, if you find yourself at certain times of the year, pressure gets to you, you're up tossing and turning through the night, your stomach's in knots, and all of these things, give it a try. You've got nothing to lose. It's not a drug. It's just a herbal supplement. I took it yesterday for the first time, and last night I slept unstopped for 8 hours. And that's the first time in a very, very long time that I have slept completely through the night, even besides old man peeing. So, there's your Truth from Piper Duck tonight. Ashwagandha. It'll be down in the down in the description part. Sorry, just right down there, below the bar part, the time there and that stuff. Go down into the description part, and yeah, you'll see the spelling of it. And like I said, you can get it at most drugstores and health places. Ashwagandha, brought to you by Piper Duck. At least the one direction heading north, I could open that window and get some cool air in here. It's like 20 degrees cooler outside, even though it's 31 degrees outside. It's like 50 degrees in the cab when I'm going with the wind, because I can't open the windows because of the chaff. Well, I was about to shut down for the midday and go and cut for a while, but just broke a belt. Ironically, last night we ordered up two brand new John Deere sets of belts. So I knew this one, you can see right there on the most left hand, you can't see from the dirty windows, but that one is starting to rip, so I've got gator lacing, so I will fix that one and the one that's broken. But these belts are starting to wear out. The joints are starting to crack. I haven't measured them yet to see how often they've been shortened, but they're all John Deere laces, so they might be original, unless they've been having them repaired at John Deere. But we're past halfway of the third paddock, and then there's one more paddock left, and then that's this quarter done, so we're getting there. Oh gosh. And the good news is, talking to Dennis through text, because it's big fair day here, so everybody's had a half day. Dennis said the AC compressor is supposed to be in today, and they're going to put it to one side, and he is going to pick it up on his own hour when he's heading through Brandon tomorrow. So then starting next week, this should have AC back in it. And apparently, starting next week, they'll be cracking into that orange loader tractor to try and get everything fixed on it. So, fingers crossed. Now, you all know what that means. Yeah. How sexy is that? So, this one completely and utterly destroyed. You can see it tore a whole lot through. So I think it was already part way gone and then it let go. This one was starting to go, so I cut it out while I was in. Well, the first one that went wrapped itself back inside and then on top of the next belt. There was, at one point there was like 4 layers of belt in the one area. Stuck. I put that pipe wrench and that bit of pipe, and I could not turn it. So my handy tip on, yeah, there was a whole lot of net wrap up in the rollers and stuff that had to be cleaned out. That is part and parcel to these getting dog-eared, so they start grabbing the net wrap. Wouldn't be an issue with twine, but as you all know, I use net wrap. So handy tip. Pour diesel or diesel oil, whatever. Pour that on where the belts are all overlapped and all knotted up. If you can start to kind of work it back and forward and start hammering, there's a crowbar. Once that oil gets in between the belts, they'll actually start to slide out fairly good. So I was about this close to starting cutting belts, and finally they let go. So I managed to get the belts pulled out, relaced, back together. And so I did the broken one, and then I relaced the one that was tearing. So the baler is back up and running last night. We'll see how today goes in the heat, because that'll be the test. We have new sets of belts coming in on Monday. So there's a new set of belts for this baler that was here, the one that we're using, and there's also a second set of belts coming. So we're doing 2 complete sets of belts. So there will be a brand new set going on to the other baler at that point when that baler is back up and running. But oh my gosh, the heat. Apparently Dennis, the wonder mechanic, he is picking up on his own time in Brandon the brand new AC pump compressor. He is picking that up today, which is Saturday. Yesterday was the big Harding fair, which I did not get to because I was baling and then I was doing this. So he'll be picking that up today, and then Monday, hopefully, that tractor gets new AC compressor and Piper Doug gets to go back to living a normal farmer existence, if there's such a thing. Anyway, so I'm going to go back out. Hopefully today we'll see the majority of the last paddock baled up, fingers crossed, out in that big quarter, and then there'll just be a little bit to get done, and then we're back. Yes, I know, my cameras. We'll be back out here in these last 2. I've already got this silage field half center cut, and then we'll have the south field, but fingers crossed the weather's still holding, so let's get back at it. So here's a fun one for you. We're back in the silage field, so we're getting the centerpiece cut down. There's a lot of stuff out here, but we're probably a week behind where we should have been cutting it. But if you look at this, see where we're cut. So it's exactly 2 weeks ago that we cut that. So there's 2 weeks growth. It's already a foot tall where there hasn't been any tire tracks from the baler. So yeah, that's going to be interesting on second cut. Okay, so on cool down, letting the oil cool down a bit before I switch the engine off. So if you look out here, now I think I'm looking at the same thing. So there's the new gate right there. So to the right of that is the next 2 paddocks. To the left of that, the 2 paddocks there and there that the cows are currently using. So this is end of week 1. So because it's a double paddock, they've got 2 weeks of it. Dang gophers. So where's the cows? Well, there's the water trough. Here's the bald paddock. There they are. The bottom end of the bald paddock. Every day they wander out here. Just gonna pick a different spot to stand or lay down Then they'll make their way back all together and fight over the water trough. And then they'll head out. Quite bizarre. Cows really are migratory. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of bizarre. Anyway. So I have no idea where we are at on these videos. Mrs. Piper Dog has been doing some filming, which has been awesome. So Dennis came out to do the AC on the blue tractor. The new compressor showed up. Wrong compressor. Last night we got the big quarter of hay all finished up, almost 500 bales off that field. Baler started acting up. I'd blown a hydraulic hose in the neck of the baler, so I've got to fix that. But I don't think this field down here is quite ready for baling. Where are we at? Oh yeah, last night went to go swathing. The swather AC system quit. So Dennis went and charged it up while he was out here checking over the tractor. He says the new compressor will be overnighted and in tomorrow. Dang great. So if you'll see here we have Eddie, and then behind the boards you'll see coming out there is Squeaky Cheeks. So there's Squeakers. Still to calf, so there's 2 left to go. So what we're about to do is we're about to bring them in and load them on a trailer, take them out round here and put them in here, the 2 of them, to have their babies, and then they'll just stay in here until the gen pop, we pull the bulls out, and then they can go out to the crew. So yeah, we'll just shut them in here out of the sun so they can have their babies in peace and quiet. I think Mrs. Piper Doug made some videos. Turns out one of the last babies, an older cow than the sweet cow that was up in that pen there, when she fell and she hurt her leg, turns out she landed on her calf and broke the calf's leg. So that's what you will see. So yeah, we had to take the trailer over to Verdon, to the Verdon Animal Hospital. Big shout out to the crew there, and Nadine Vogelmuth, absolute star, took care of the wee tot. So she has a stookie and she's laying out there in the trees with the rest of the crew, happy as can be. Well, as high on drugs. One of the things we were doing, we actually had an accident with the water trough. They managed to break the top of the water trough, but we've known that we've needed to put a stock tank out there instead of just the water trough, because there is over 80 cows out there. So this is what you're looking at. So we got this one because we've had Rubbermaids that just don't last long. So this one has a malleable float, so everything will be back there, and then that part there will be chained to a corral panel. So this cannot walk around, and it's low enough for calves, and it holds, I think they said 1,000 litres. So yeah, we will just cordon off the water trough, chain this to the panel on the other side of it, and then we will just tee into the water trough and run the hose out to this. system. So that's what I'm about to do, is get this all taped up and tested, and then go from there. Now, according to them, these things are quite robust. So we'll see. It'll get tested, believe you me. So yeah, so you basically just tie this onto the string, and it should work like that, and this will be back there against the panel, so the cows will be around here and not bothering with that. So good to go. So like I said, I got to do a repair as well. And this is another one of these things where we're finding stuff from the previous owner of this baler, because it looks like, yeah, the hose isn't clamped down and it's been riding up and rubbing against the side of the slip clutch. So that's fun. So I got to unhook that pipe and replace the pipe, because there is enough slack there, I suppose, but we'll see. Anyway, if I don't bring you back, thanks for watching, everybody. What a heck of a week. And like I said, if you find there's a lot going on, go down in the comments, go down in the description, and you'll see the name for that supplement that I'm taking. Honest to gosh, just give it a try. Might not be for you. What are you going to lose? It's a supplement. It's good for you. So anyway, I'll see you later. Don't worry. Oh my gosh. Well, so here's something for you. So the tractor's back. The tractor's working. They fixed the leak. It was an O-ring, might have been pinched in the filter housing, all the rest of it. The one thing that I had forgotten about this tractor was this, the hydraulic oil cooler. And because it's so warm right now, I don't want to test the limits of this. So we already had the brand new oil cooler from AI, which looks different, but hell of a lot cheaper. So I was mounting it in there and I could not figure out why I could not get it in beside the AC cooler. Then I realized I had the AC cooler in upside down. I had the pipes at the top, not the bottom. It's supposed to be at the bottom. And ironically, the tractor went in and had a total rebuild in at Jody's, and they never caught it either. So I'm gonna have to bug them on that one, because that's funny. So yeah, so just gotta take that hose and put it there, and that hose and put it there, and take out the joiner. And then that way we have the oil cooler hooked up again. So yeah, never a dull moment. Oh, and by the way, the cab that is in the paddock by the house that we were at the vet with the broken leg. So if everyone remembers BCP, they had the broken leg cab. It was high up brake and the skin was punctured and all the rest of it. Well, this little girl, because she was so young and because the skin was not punctured and because the brake was quite low down on the shin, it was a very simple fix. So I'll give it a month and then take it back to get the cast off. So anyway, supper time. I'm away now.